Okay. Finally, like, partially chilled out. Now that the sun is almost down. It's almost bearable out here, I might even say.
Yeah, it's still hot.
Yeah.
It's still not pleasant.
Cool shirt. Yeah, it's my Nancy Pelosi zombie shirt. Yeah. I like to wear people and remind them of the rot for a while.
I forget. Is she still running in 2024 or did she finally quit?
I think she's running. Haven't heard anything about her stepping down. I'd suggest a swamp cooler if it wouldn't totally fuck up the audio for these. Yeah, dude, a big swamp cooler, like, just sitting right over there and pointed at me would be pretty fucking dope, but it would fuck up the audio. Dude, I grew up with a swamp cooler, okay? They don't do very good, especially in, like, 100-degree heat. I don't know how hot it is in New York, but I'm dripping and melting. Oh no. Don't drip away. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? Swamp coolers at work. It doesn't help much, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Swamp coolers, not my thing, man. Not my thing. We just had a tornado touchdown. How many points is that? Is that 6, like in the NFL? Yeah, stay out of the way of that tornado. All jokes aside. Just come to a realization about content creation that I think will enable me to start making content regularly. What's that? What realization have you come to? Because if it's false, I can correct it. Yeah, that's a good step, Phoebes. Make videos about whatever you want should be step 1. Getting comfortable doing it is step 2. So you just fucking do it. You do it, and you do it, and you do it. Until you know what you're doing when you do it. And going to AT&T Stadium, if there's another tornado here, no touchdowns there. Yikes, bro. Be careful, man. That's scary shit. I don't think I could move to that part of the fucking country where it's tornado fucking city. Do-wah-diddy. I don't think I could fucking hang, bro.
I've seen one tornado.
Seen one in person? Yeah, fuck that. I've never seen one in person. Seen like funnel clouds, but not one that touched. Very rare here in the valley for us to get like a funnel cloud, but when I was a kid it happened a few times. But I never heard of one touching down around here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you ain't kidding about scary. You want to talk about scary, dude. You guys ever seen that documentary from the 90s called Twister? It's about this group of people that go hunting for twisters. And some crazy shit happens in that movie, bro. In that documentary. Crazy shit, bro. Naders. Dude, that documentary Twisters, though, dude. I can't believe they let, like, a camera crew follow them when they're doing all that crazy shit. Yeah, dude, rip Bill Paxton, man. He died fucking fighting tornadoes like he loved. He had one fucking goal in life, and that was to fight fucking tornadoes, dude. And you want to know what? He did it. Interested to see the sequel? No. Are you? Yeah, no, I'm trying to very wryly make fun of the goddamn movie. I definitely will not be seeing the retoot boot. I have a crazy Nader story. Oh. Naders. Tornadoes. Look out. Here come them player haters.
The one I saw, it was during a wedding I was at. And
During a
all the
wedding?
Yeah, all the guys had to go out and stare at it.
Of course. We're apes.
Yeah.
Us ape, like we have to watch over the tribe.
Yeah. It was like the lowest category of tornado though.
Still pretty crazy.
Sirens went off and shit.
Was it a bad omen? Did that marriage last?
I don't know. I don't keep up with the people that got married.
Let's see.
Marriage.
Wondering if that's a good or a bad omen that you have a nader on the day of your marriage. I'm gonna guess bad.
They were about ready to tell us like hide under the tables and shit.
Fuck that. That's bullshit. I'm running. I can outrun a nader. You think I can't? No, I don't know, dude. I don't think I could live in a place where that's like routine. The railroad dudes sided it out with the weather. My dad helped move it back when the nader cleared out. Oh. I ain't scared of no nader. Don't. Ugh. Man, it felt fucking cooler out here to me than it is. It's not cool.
You guess what it is still?
I'm gonna say 92.
It's currently 95.
95? $90 Hello, Mr. Naughty Priest. Paul, you might be able to. They move anywhere from human walking speed to about a train. Oh, I'd run. I'd run straight away, and then I'd look back, and if it was coming at me, I'd run left or right. Do you have sinus problems before your gallbladder removal? What the fuck do those two things have to do together? Yes?
Maybe it's like an immune system thing.
Is there?
Gallbladder helps a little bit more with it or something.
Maybe. Towns that were hit by the storm that season still have tarps on them. That was 15 years ago. Yeah. Dude, when me and Amelia were leaving, we drove through Lake Charles and saw that entire city with no roofs. And there was a fucking hurricane heading for Lake Charles when we pulled through. It's like... Did science ever determine what a gallbladder does?
I mean, it has bile in it to help you digest fat and shit.
Yeah, it's something about like emulsifying fat to make it more digestible. So bile gets added to your stomach, and then boom, it helps to like emulsify the fat that's in there and poop it out through your system and get the nutrients out of it.
You can still eat it without a gallbladder, but it's harder on your digestion.
Eat what?
Like the saturated fats and
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, I never stopped.
Yeah. But you also had horrible poops.
Horrible, well, I mean, horrible poops kind of come with the territory with gallbladder.
Yeah.
That is one of the most common things about gallbladder is like you get 5-alarm shits. And you talk about how much federal tax money gets moved from Cali to LA and Mississippi and other states for tornado relief. But the sad thing is, because of our rampant privatization, yeah, no, I know. It's a waste. That's the thing, is like we're dumping all this money onto states that are not making their own tax base. And then when that money gets to these federal disaster, like when these federal disaster dollars get to the local officials and stuff, that nothing gets spent before the grift and the graft happens. You know, money is appropriated to things that are like pet projects, and so it's like doubly bad. It's doubly pointless for a place like California to pay for everybody else's shit. X to doubt. You mean X to doubt that California pays for everybody? We looked up the numbers a few days ago. Texas has something like a 200 or a $150 billion deficit. California has $357 million or $1 billion surplus, and then a $20 billion deficit. That $20 billion deficit is overrode by the surplus, but it's distributed amongst the southern states and the Midwestern states and stuff for disaster relief and infrastructure shit. Oh, Trump's not giving us any good insurance. That ain't happening. But it's unsustainable, and I'm trying to, like, it's something that I don't hear people talking about. If something does jump off, like let's say Trump wins and there's some big fucking kind of like, or Trump loses and there's some big kind of MAGA uprising or something, and the South like starts talking secession and shit, like I feel like if the shit hits the fan, California is just gonna cloister up. It's like, why are we gonna ship all the fucking benefit that we create here in this state over there? It just ain't gonna happen. Politicians are the problems, not the people. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The politicians are elected by the people cyclically from the Republican Party down there. So, yeah, the people don't get to fucking be blameless in this, but it means that you have to do the hard work of, like, talking them out of continually, cyclically doing the wrong thing. And you know how I feel about that. It's the most important work you can do. Yeah, but which states really produce the... Are you talking the food? California. Cali grows something like 45% of the produce eaten, or something, 40%, 20%. Some huge chunk of the green foods and farm produce that you eat comes from Cali. Cali cows, Cali eggs, Cali grapes, Cali almonds, Cali walnuts, Cali dairy, Cali cheese, Cali wine, you know, bok choy and lettuce and rutabagas and, well, pretty much everything you want to fucking buy. Can California self-sustain though? Yes. Those big corps that are generating the taxes will bail the second California becomes a country. Will they? Good riddance. I don't think they'll go quite as quickly as you think. But if they do, good riddance. Like I said, Cali's the hustle capital of the United States. There will be 1 million people lined up to fill that fucking vacuum as soon as somebody leaves. Soon as it, like this, all these threats constantly, like, I'm moving my business out of California. Good. There's too many. Make some room for some other entrepreneurs that can hack it. And go move to fucking Kansas or something and tell everybody how much you love it there.
So these are all the things that California and California alone produces for the U.S.
Okay.
Almonds, figs, olives, peaches, artichokes, kiwis, dates, pomegranates, raisins, sweet rice, pistachios, plums, and almonds.
Ruh-roh, SpaghettiOs.
So you can't have no olive oil without California.
Yeah, no olives, no olive oil.
I guess if you want imported.
Yeah, you can
olive
import
oil.
some Italian olive oil. Good luck paying those prices. Do you think Kelly will secede then? No, I'm saying that if there's a secession crisis with the South, California is probably going to consider drying itself out, like from the rest of the nation, sealing up its borders and waiting it out. What'd it do? Yeah, B, you need to stop talking to other people in here. That's the second time I've accidentally read one of your things, and there won't be a third. We don't talk to other people in the chat because Paul reads the chat and thinks it's at him. So that'll be the last from you.
Mentioning people isn't helpful.
Yeah, don't at people, don't talk to other people, don't fucking like get into side conversations, because you see that's now the second time in 15 minutes that I've read one of your conversations and been nothing but confused by it because you're having side convos. So please stop. I won't ask again. Do you agree with the relapsed article on the tree husk? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, and I'm about to fucking ban you. That just sounds like absolute gibberish to me. Paul, what are your odds that Trump actually becomes a dictator? 0.0. Next. Too stoopy. Yeah, I understand. Gonna have to go to DMs. Gonna have to take it to DMs. I'm not gonna read another one of your things and be confused by it tonight. So no more side shit. And that goes for everybody. That finger just ain't pointed at B. That's at everybody. No side shit. Paul, what can the Dems do to fix Joe Biden? Nothing. He's dying. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy, nothing. Yeah, dude, the terror index is red today. Yeah, no side chicks. What's your predictions for the next 4 years? Poverty, climate collapse, housing crisis, and water crisis. Those 4 things. And migration crisis. So there's 5 for you. They need to do 25th Amendment his ass. They're not going to. They're not going to. The DNC has already said that they are not having in talks to replace Biden, that they're not even considering it, that Biden is their candidate. They're going forward to the convention with Biden. I'm proud to be a trans leftist who doesn't think Trump is going to literally end democracy. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, there's plenty to be afraid of for trans people in the Republican agenda, so don't get too fucking complacent about it, but like realize this idea that fucking, because they told us this the last time, I was like, if we don't beat Trump, the world's over. It's like, no, not really though. Like everybody forgets, like we had Trump from 2016 to 2020, and he ran the country pretty much like a Democrat. Paul, I want to open a new fast food joint next to Chick-fil-A that is only open on Sundays and call it Side Chick. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good idea. I think you probably get sued. What does the average American do in this situation? Seems pointless. It is pointless. There's nothing to do. Sit back and take what you get. Or we could, like, rise up as a people and demand our human rights, but people don't seem interested in doing that, so we're just going to sit and take what we get. Well, I have the left nut or the right nut when you can have the Johnson. Oh yeah, Gary Johnson. Yeah. I kind of want Trump to what to win, so we never have to hear his name after 4 years are up. Oh, haven't you heard? He's never leaving. If Trump wins, he never leaves. He's eternal president. Dun, dun, dun. Because of Project 2025. Dun, dun, dun. You're welcome. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, you know, I think all this talk about replacing Biden all of a sudden is kind of de facto fascist. I would be comfortable with you calling Vosh a de facto fascist. Stop whining. Dagburn Johnny Gobble. Stop whining. Get a beard shave. Get fucked. Do you love men romantically? I have in the past, but I'm married to a woman now. But in the past, I have had torrid romances with members of the same sex, eh? Hmm? Romantic interludes. Oh my God, dude! Here's some more Christians from Shining Light Ministries here to fucking just like quote the Bible verses at us, letting the dead words of their mouth fall to the floor, not showing me their fruits. That is an evangelism. Rando posting in somebody's fucking chat is not evangelism. You are going to a dead church. You're in a dead church if you're being convinced to go and shine the light through text. You need to be out clothing the naked and feeding the hungry and giving everything you own to the poor and walking in the footsteps of Jesus. Or you're not a Christian and there's no shining light in your ministry. How about that? The talk with the brother-in-law go really well, man, really well. Yeah, I don't know, man. We could talk about it, I guess. So, you know, I talked to my brother-in-law. I'm not going to go over it. It was a really tough day for me, and it wasn't bad. There was no fighting or anything like that. But he explained to me, so I asked him about, like, you know, I came out to my sister and my brother-in-law directly for the first time. I think my mom had probably told them. But I'm bi. And I expressed to them my worries about them finding out about that and not wanting me around their children. And they said that's just absolutely never crossed their minds. And that felt good to know that. And then I moved on to their church. My brother-in-law is the pastor of a big church. And I said, you guys invite me out here to church all the time, but on your website, if I go to your statement of faith, there is a long screed about homosexuality and comparing it to bestiality and incest and all horrible other things. And I was like, do you guys realize how many people probably bounce off of your church because they see that on your website? Because I'm one of them. I don't really like going into your church because I feel like if a bunch of people in there knew how I was, that they would be hyper-focused on what they see as my sexual immorality and my sin and not on their own. And so I asked him, why is that there? I understand you're a biblical church. You teach the Bible is 100% true. I get that. But I said, there's all kinds of sin. And you guys don't have a giant biblically backed list in your statement of faith about your opposition to all kinds of sin. It's very limited to like marriage and sexual morality. And he gave me an answer I did not expect. And it actually took me aback. He said, straight up, with no hesitation, he said, our church overreacted about 10 or 15 years ago. He said about 10 or 15 years ago, when the kind of LGBTQ movement and the trans movement started to take off, the elders at our church, kind of who write those statements of faith, overcorrected. Because they wanted people to know as soon as they came to the website that we're not one of them LGBTQ churches or whatever. And he was like, it was not a good look. And it shouldn't be there. He said that he can't just take it down because he doesn't, it's the church elders that decide that shit. Or the church, it's not elders, but it's like church, whatever the fuck. The committee, or whatever. So I was like, oh. So I was like, you don't think it should be there? No. I mean, I don't. He's like, I don't mind it being there, but you're right. It shouldn't be so prominent. And it definitely shouldn't be put in such a way that makes people feel like they're not welcome in the church. There was a lot of other stuff that had to be talked about, and I'm not going to go into that. Family stuff, and personal stuff, and just like years and years of us living this kind of like strange existence where we just kept passing through each other's orbit. We haven't been all that close. When I say we, I mean my brother-in-law, my sister, and I, because I'm so, I feel like the black sheep of the family when I'm not going to church, and every time I go over to their place or I'm invited to something, it's just a bunch of people I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of that had to be talked about and stuff. Why did you decide to visit their church? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to call my brother-in-law and I'm going to ask him about the church. I'm going to ask him if he's preaching on Sunday because I got nothing to do Sunday. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to talk to this dude. I thought it would be good to go and actually watch what he preaches about before we have a talk about his church. So that's why I went. So it was all right. It was like this. I think it was the start of a conversation that'll probably be ongoing, but that's good. I think we opened up some communicative lanes and talked about some old shit and all of that. And that was good. That was good. Is he a skilled preacher? Yeah, he was really, really good. I was actually kind of blown away, to be honest with you, because he's always been a really like charismatic dude. But I was actually like impressed with him. Paul, do you think his polite way or diplomatic way to answer? I mean, he was being diplomatic, but so was I. You know, I'm not looking to tear down his faith, and he's not looking to build mine up, really. I mean, we were just talking as men, you know, about what we believe and why we believe it. And that was a good talk that he and I probably needed to have for about 20 fucking years. So good, we had it, you know. And I think we understand each other a little better, and I think I can walk in my own truth now and not really have to worry about, you know, being ostracized from my family or asked not to be around the children or whatever, right? It made you feel like the black sheep to go to a Bible Belt school. Yeah. Well, you know, it's one of those things. I told them about my kind of like journey with Zazen recently, how it's, you know, like comforting to me to be able to stop the running commentary in my mind and, you know, kind of like focus myself on my breathing and bring myself in the moment, right? Because for me, that's what Zazen practice is about bringing me out of the past, out of the future, and into the moment. And I do it 3 times a day because it centers everything about my life. Pack a bowl, drop that tab, trip on shrooms, get out. Try not to ban me if we can swing it. You're gonna get banned for that. You're retarded. How do you spell that so I can look it up? Look what up? I'm sorry, the kind of Christians that think meditation is satanic. If they did, they didn't say it to me. Paul, do you think being a pastor is like being an actor and you have to have some, yes, you have to have a modicum of showmanship for sure. Zazen. Zazen is just the practice of doing Zen Buddhism. So Zen Buddhist mindfulness meditation. So you can look up Zen Buddhism, you can look up Zen koans, or koans, you can look up Zazen, spelled like just your average internet pig put it, Z-A-Z-E-N. That's just the practice of doing Zen meditation. Eating McDonald's is satanic. Really? Thanks, brah. No problem. Pull up in a demon on guard. Why, hello there. Remember the koan and Ishmael? I do. Yeah. I don't remember it word for word, though. I need to read Ishmael again. It's been a while since I read Ishmael. It's probably been 2 years. So I'm probably due for another reading. Do 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 do. Brrr do 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 do. Ugh. Man, this chat is just fucking uncorrigible tonight. The skibbities are out in force and they are just having to be pruned left and right. What? Nice chill stream, bro. Thanks. Yeah, it's something like, with man gone. Oh, yeah. With man gone, is there a future for gorilla? That's what it was. I'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes. God. Yes, indeed. So addictive. So addictive. Such an addictive practice because it just is pure joy and goodness. It's like, wow. Oh, Ishmael's here. That's good. That's good. Me and Silas were reading Ishmael to each other way back and I think we'll start up again. You should, yeah. It's a good book.
Lasagna ain't even close to done.
Hell no, it ain't. That's a brick of ice in there right now. No one ever died from a weed overdose. Truth. That is absolutely true. I wonder if people have died as like with weed as a secondary factor.
Like if it caused a panic attack and they freaked
Right.
the fuck out.
Right, and they nodded out.
Or not nodded out, but like.
Well, just like fucking died.
Yeah.
Had a heart attack or had a stroke or something. Probably, I would say that's happened, but nobody would say that that was like the weed.
I mean, there's carcinogens just by inhaling smoke regardless.
Sure.
They just haven't studied it as extensively as cigarettes because it's not a legal drug.
Yeah.
So it's probably not great for your lungs and shit.
What about that lady that killed that dude because the weed gave her a psychotic break? Yeah, I haven't heard about that one. You die from intake method before the chemical. Yeah, that's what they say. Like, if you tried to ingest enough weed to kill you, you would die ingesting it before you ever got to the lethal dose level. Like, you would just like burst from eating too much of it, or
your lungs would
blow out. Yeah.
I don't know. It's so concentrated now. There might be a way.
Yeah. A man in Mexico was crushed to death by a 1-ton bale of weed. Okay. All right. Regulate it. What about that dude that thinks he's orange because he ate too much acid, man? Oh, yeah, him. What are we going to do about that guy? He's just curled up in the corner like an orange. Should we peel him? She stabbed him like 60 times in LA. Yeah, I mean, that was the defense, right? The defense was, oh, I smoked weed and it gave me a psychotic break. But
there's been murder defenses of like, oh, I was asleep. I was sleepwalk murdered.
Right. Like, not guilty by reason of insanity is a pretty fucking common plea for murder crimes of passion. So what probably happened is, that lady was having a fight with her husband, smoked some weed to calm down. He came in and said something to her that just set her off. Her inhibitions were lowered because of the thing. It escalated. She grabbed a knife, threatened him with it. He said, you ain't gonna do shit. She just started stabbing him because she was sick of his shit, The Twinkie defense is actually a misnomer. A lot of people throw it up there. It was never actually presented that the Twinkie was responsible for Dan, what's-his-name, killing Harvey Milk. It was just thrown in there as an example of his stress level and his bad diet and his kind of like frayed mental state and high stress job and all of that. They didn't like try and get the jury to believe that he ate a Twinkie and killed a man because of it. And like people will say the Twinkie defense, there's no such thing really.
Okay, there actually has been one single OD identified.
Okay, but was it in a southern state?
It was an adolescent eating edibles.
In what state?
I don't know what state, but it was a case report. It was giant.
Okay. And that was like what? A fucking doctor somewhere said that a kid OD'd on weed. Like that doesn't
contributing factor.
Okay, see that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then they're never going to be able to point at somebody that went over the fucking LD50 for weed. That you can't even get close to it.
It does raise your blood pressure, so that could trigger something.
Sure. Secondary causes, but those are pre-existing causes.
Yeah.
If your heart blows out because you have a panic attack, you had a bad heart. You had a clogged artery. You had a fucking whatever. So it's like secondary causes. Yeah, people have died of just drinking a glass of water or fucking raking up their yard. But you can't, there's no such thing as pointing at somebody and like, that person took a lethal dose of weed. There's no such thing. You can't do it. Like I said, you would die from ingesting it at a certain point before you ever got to the lethal dose.
How do you feel about that charged lemonade thing with Panera? Or did you not follow it at all? People dying from the over-caffeinated lemonade.
Oh, I remember we covered it like briefly on the show or something, but...
Do you think, like, they all had pre-existing heart conditions? Do you think that should...
I mean, it's another secondary factor thing, but yeah, I do think that like companies should warn people. I think weed companies should warn people.
Yeah, this raises your blood
pressure.
Yeah,
the weed can raise your blood pressure. Weed can cause certain sensitive groups to have panic attacks or allergic reactions. And if you feel bad, just stop doing it and chill out and go take a warm bath. You'll be fine,
intoxicating effects of edibles can take X amount of time to.
Right, edibles, can take an extended time to kick in, so don't overeat them. And blah. I don't mind there being like shit. There's nothing on the bags of weed that I buy. Like I've got one right here, a Cali bag, and it doesn't say
It
like.
has a Prop 65.
It says warning, cancer and autoimmune harm, is what it says. It's like, well, that's not telling people like the things that'll happen to them if they smoke some weed, or could happen to them. I've never seen that on a weed pack. Like, hey, if you smoke this and you feel like you're having a panic attack, everything's fine. That happens to some people. Just stop. I can tell that this company just put the bare minimum of what the state had to.
Yeah, I think they all have to slap a Prop 65
Yep.
on it.
Yep. They used to give out flyers with that stuff here in Colorado, but only the first few years of legalization. I think that it should be like mandatory.
Yeah, like at least if you're going to a dispensary for the first time or whatever.
There should be somebody there that greets you, gives you some literature to take home and read, and walks you through whatever weed you choose. So if you go like, I don't know, like, what do you want us to do? Oh, I'd like to smoke it in a joint. Okay, well, we've got these, and these. And these are going to be pretty strong joints, so you're going to want to, start with a few puffs and see how you feel. If you feel panicky or bad, don't worry about it. It'll pass. Just stop using it and all that.
You think the same should be with alcohol, too? You feel like...
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's harder because...
Well, because it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like, alcohol is culturally acceptable, and weed is just now becoming culturally acceptable, so...
Like, the way health class teaches about it, it's always like, this is the absolute worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
In between.
Well, when I was a kid, they were all like, this is a gateway drug. That's an invented fucking idea, by the way. A gateway drug.
Did you have to watch that drunk driving documentary where you had to see all the people in the hospital?
Yeah, Blood on the Highway.
It might have been something slightly different.
Ours was called Blood on the Highway, and it was literally just like crime or photos from fucking car accidents.
This was like ER footage.
Yeah, no, we had that. Yeah, we had that. Yeah, it was like pictures of people that were dying or died in car accidents, pictures of like crashes.
I mean, like video.
Oh, well, we didn't have video.
Yeah. You could see pulses and shit. I had to leave, man. It was like gory as fuck.
Yeah, I can't hang.
Seeing people's brains.
I can't hang with that shit, bro. That ain't for me. Everything is a gateway. Yeah, well, I mean, life is a gateway. Well, every choice that you make is a door. Like, it's just a stupid conservative invention, gateway drug. If you smoke weed, then you're more likely to do coke, then you're more likely to do crack, then like everything's a slippery slope fallacy gone fucking awry. People love that type of shit, though. They love a slippery slope. People love to hide their bigotry behind the slippery slope.
Done your evening ones already?
Was that?
You done your evening ones already?
I just finished, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I just finished them up like 3 or 4 minutes before you came out. Did me stretches. Movies have unironically made me want to try and coke more so than weed. Okay. Movies didn't make you want to do that. You made you want to do that. You decided you wanted to try that. No movie convinced you to do it. Like, people quit blaming other things, like you're some victim of external influence all the fucking time.
Yeah.
No rush. Do, 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 do. No rush, no rush. It was the video games. I blame the wrestling. That was a thing back in the day. Wrestling. This wrestling is making kids do power bombs on each other. It's like, what? I think that that's more like parents not watching their kids and not teaching their kids not to hurt other kids. We gotta put a warning on wrestling. We gotta put a warning about demonic possession on D&D. It's like people are just constantly looking to blame some external influence for why their kids are fucked up. And it's like, it was you. It was you. You didn't raise your kid right. That's why they fucking were crazy. It had nothing to do with the video games or the internet. It had to do with you not being a present parent. Whoops. Quit looking for something to blame. Blame yourself and do better. That's how things get fixed. Nobody's got more power over a child than its parent. Nobody's more responsible for the formative things that happen to a child, the formative ideas that are instilled in a child than their parent. It feels stupid to have to say that, but it's... Nowadays, it seems like fucking lost wisdom. Parents should parent. Parents should take time to look at the things that their kids are into and decide what's right for them. And parents should step in and do things when their kids fucking do things wrong. They should be a good example, not a bad fucking example for their kids. Wow, man, what a fucking revolutionary idea, bro. What a crazy revolution in parenting. It's called the parenting movement. What strain are you using? Purple Punch. Purple Punch is what we're smoking tonight. Purple Punch, it makes me feel alright. Took an archaeology class in college and they asked us if there should be disclaimers on archaeology movies to say that this is not real and looting is illegal. What? No. Indica, I believe, yeah. I believe it's an indica. It's loud as fuck, I'll tell you that. Smoking on that stanky. I'm sitting here sweating, smoking on Scooby-Doo dick. I'm him. Oh, strains matter in edibles too. Strains will hit different in edibles, just like smoking. Maybe not the same exact different, but so schwery. Ay, Dios mío, I'm too schwery. Smoking that Whoopi Goldberg South Egyptian Fur Burger Deluxe Mega Million Scratcher Skunk Bubba Kush. Yes. 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 What kind of watch do you wear? I wear several different types of watches. This is a Stern Glass Hamburg chrono that I wear. It's a chronograph. I'm a watch nerd, so I've got like a small but growing collection of micro brand watches. If looting is illegal, so British Museum should be closed immediately. Oh? What the fuck are you, the lion from The Wizard of Oz? Yeah. I do believe in spooks. Cool. You're a watch nerd. Neato burrito. Neato burrito conchito. What do you think of Chevron deference decision? I haven't read into it, so I have nothing to say about it. This is my week off from normal, like, content creation. And I have a rule that I don't read the news. Watch collecting is a timeless hobby. That's a pun. Yeah, I love watches. Well, micro, how can you tell which is a micro or macro company? So in the watch world, there are large brands, like large established brands, right? So like Grand Seiko, Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, Along and Sona, right? These are all like considered to be face brand watches, right? Bulova, right? All of these kind of like recognizable watches. Swatch, right? Casio with their G-Shock stuff, right? Micro brands are a smaller upstart company that makes watches of varying qualities at varying price points that are made to look very slick and be very well constructed. I love Sternglass. Like, I'm a Bauhaus watch nut, so this is like a German design kind of. Sternglass is a German company, and most of the watches that I really fucking love are German watches. So, just happens to be what I'm into. So a micro brand is going to be a smaller upstart company, not internationally known, but there are tons of them making super high quality watches. Like, this watch is super duper top end, and it cost me about $400. So, and to pay for a watch like this from one of the top brands, I would have paid 20 or 30 grand, right? The downside to micro brands is you don't get what they call in-house movements. So most of the watches that I own that are mechanical watches use a Miyota 5185 or something in them. It's a Japanese caliber. A lot of people want to get a Swiss caliber because they are known as the best internals for a watch in the world. So like the guts of the watch in a micro brand are going to be a commonly used type, right, of mechanical movement. And you're not going to find a micro brand selling a watch for $500 that has an in-house movement in it. Do you play Rainbow Six Siege? No. I really honestly can't do like modern FPS games. They're too skibbity rizzler for me, bro. Too skibbity, bro. Too slow. Can I be honest with you? Too slow. And kids hate it when I say that shit, but this like tactical shooter shit where you're like stopping, having to peek around corners and take like snapshots and shit at each other. Dude, that's not how I used to play the games, bro. Back in my day, let me get you to sit on my knee and let Grampy tell you a story, okay? Back in my day, games were like gliding. It was like you were ice skating when you played video games. When you played a first-person shooter like a Quake 3 Arena or Unreal Tournament 2004 or any of those. Those were the two that I was really good at. It was like you were ice skating, the movement, the jumping. It was a fast-paced game. It wasn't like tactical, sweating behind the thing, throw out your ult, man, I'll fucking run in. Oh no, I got killed, bro. It wasn't that. It was literally like two teams, team deathmatch, most frags wins, get out there and get fucking killing. Back in my day. Yeah, no ducking around fucking shit. No crouching behind a box and camping up in a fucking corner somewhere. I mean, there were campers back in Quake, but they died quick. Because everybody knew how to get to their spots, and you just run up there and collect the free loot, bro. Just run up there and get the free kill, because they'd be up there like shooting missiles from some high spot. You just run up right behind them and gibs everywhere, pick up their shit and fucking jump down into the fray. Like that, they don't make games like that anymore. First-person shooters are boring as fuck now, dude. Fortnite is the most boring shit, bro. It's literally like run around for 25 minutes before you even find a person, and then you get in a fight and you might just die and that's it. And then it's another 20 minutes to get another game going. It's like, what? Yep. Doom, Quake, Duke Nukem, Heretic. Those are the big names. Hexen as well. I don't know if you remember Hexen, Jareth. I don't know if you're old enough for... Well, you remember those other ones, so... Closest to tactical games back then were more single-player based. Yes. Yes. Even like on the N64, right? There was GoldenEye, which is, by the way, it's unplayable to me now. But GoldenEye was a fast-paced... Like, it had these kind of maps where you could camp, but campers were fucking vulnerable. And it was fast-paced, constantly fucking zoom, 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 right? Counter-Strike was really like, and I'm not even trying to shit on it. I'm really not trying to be a boomer about it. If you like playing these games like the Valorants, the Fortnites, the Counter-Strike shit... Right, but when Counter-Strike, which was a mod for Half-Life 2, came out, that was a sign of the times for me. I was like, okay. Because it was like that tactical, slow, first-person shooter feel, but a multiplayer game. And I was like, oof. And I miss being able to run at 150 miles an hour. I miss quad damage. I miss railgun sniping people in midair. I miss... fucking leading someone perfectly with a missile as I'm fucking flying through the air, and that fucking satisfying gib when it hits them right on the top of their fucking head. You know what I mean? Like, then none of that happens anymore in first-person shooters. It's all like some dude ducking behind a bush or like building some little pussy shack. Dude, here's why. You guys want to know why I've never touched Fortnite? Because if I had a fucking sniper scope on somebody and I was about to get a headshot or something, and this motherfucker built a pussy shack out of thin air and hidden it, I'd be like, no, I quit. Dude, that's a game mechanic now. You build a little weenie shack and hide in it until everybody, like, you build a little hug box and you hide in a corner until everybody's dead. It's like, fuck this. It's like, dude, let me know when they make another Quake. And it's like old school Quake. It's like competitive, fluid, fun, fast, good physics. Makes me feel like I'm like on jet ice skates, you know, skimming around corners, strafing. Like I want it all, bro. It's always a win when Paul vindicates your opinion. I know. I want them to remake Quake 1 or 2. Yeah. Or, like, do Quake 3 Arena. Do, like, Quake Arena 2. Dude, tell me that. I know they did Quake Live. Quake Live is kind of like that. But, dude, tell me it wouldn't be dope. Modern graphics, but that old ice skating on jets fucking control scheme with that smooth butter movement. That beautiful arc fucking strafing. So you never fucking take a corner without your gun ready. You know what I mean? That type of shit. constantly having to move, shitting on campers. Bro, Jareth, I don't mean to brag, but dude, I was really good at Quake 3 Arena. I was really fucking good at that game. Like, not like probably like best in the world good, but I was competitively good at that game. I played that game in my early 20s, like maybe 23 or 24, and my reflexes were still like probably pretty fucking close to top notch at that age. And I've been a gamer since I was 6, so they were really like well practiced. It felt great when the server admin banned me because they thought I had aimbot. Yeah, that used to happen in like Quake 2 because there were like little matches that people would start and like open matches. It was really like the first kind of time I remember there being kind of like an open lobby, and the owner of the lobby could kick you. So if you started saucing on people, they'd get salty and boot you. Like the owner of the server has booted you, and you're just like, dude, you may as well have just crowned me. I'm the king of that lobby, bro. I was shitting on you. Shitting on you fucking kids, bro. I never cheated. I never did the aimbot stuff. I never looked for like I just wanted to play, bro. It's funny when people think you're hacking just because you're good. Yeah, I know. I haven't been that good at a game in a long time, bro. It was probably I was probably 25 or 26 when I could have claimed that level of proficiency at a video game. But yeah, dude, people used to accuse me of fucking cheating playing, you guys remember that game Agent Under Fire? James Bond Agent Under Fire. I think it was for like Xbox or Xbox 360 maybe? Can't remember what we played it on, but I was the king of that fucking game, bro. I was unstoppable. They couldn't stop me. That game, I literally won a 3v1 with my friends because they got salty. They came over and I was like, what do you guys want to play? And they were like, not Agent Under Fire. And I was like, dude, why don't you guys just get good? It's like, you got the game over there. Why don't you practice a little bit? I don't know what to tell you. And they were like, dude, how about this, bro? How about you versus all of us and you let us show you how it feels? And I was like, bet. Let's do it. So we loaded up. You know, there was no 3v1 option, so they just had to like, I told them they could see who I picked, so they knew who I was, and I beat all 3 of them. I sauced on them. I think they got 1 or 2 kills to my like 25 or something before they quit out. It was messed up. It was fucked up. I played Tribes. Tribes was a really hard game. I remember they tried to reboot Tribes and it didn't work. Maybe we played it on the Cube. I don't remember. Yeah, Tribes was really good, yeah. Did you guys ever play Planet Side or Planet Side 2? Those games were pretty fucking dope. Played Planet Side 2? Yeah, dude. You know which one. You know who I picked, dude. Not the fascists, not the aliens, the working man. What were they called? Not the NCR, that's Fallout. What were they called? Maybe it was the NCR. Just a different thing. Town was my favorite map. Dude, I was unstoppable on all of them, dude. Jetpacks or grapples, whichever one they picked, guns or missiles. Dude, the alt-fire missiles were my key. Here's what I did, dude. I got really good at the grapple in Agent Under Fire, to where it was like Spider-Man. The way the grapple worked is it had infinite distance. So if you fired it at something, it would keep going even if you turned around and started firing at people. So what I would do is, when I got jumped by somebody, I would immediately fire off my grappling hook at a distant point on the ceiling, turn around, start returning fire, right? And then all of a sudden, as they're aiming at me, I zip into the air, and I still have them in my sights, right? And the alt fire mode for the missile launcher in Agent Under Fire was like a homing missile. So I would literally just let off 3 homing missiles at them as I was zipping away on a zip line from behind me. They couldn't stop me, dude. I was like Spider-Man. I never touched the ground. I would literally just like zip around the level into the corners and just kill people as I saw them running around down there. Like my game was, I would run directly to the missile launcher, the grenade launcher, whatever the best weapon on the map was. I'd skirmish over that until I could get it. Somebody might get a couple kills in that skirmish, but once I had that weapon, nobody got a kill again. On me, anyway. Biden, bud. Imagine, though. Imagine having to fucking carry that water. Yeah, Planet Side was dope. But I'm telling you, like, when it comes to if I could bring back modern versions with old controls of 2 games, it would be Quake 3 Arena, and it would be Unreal Tournament 2004. I was unstoppable at those games, bro. Unstoppable. Like, I would dominate lobbies in those games. Okay, but remember, he can't even walk upstairs, bud. Huh? Are you trying to be funny, James Braun? Did you just try and make a joke and slip and fall face first into a fresh cow pie? James Braun, do you want to try that again, sir? I remember trying the grapple hook strategy on the castle level, and it worked everywhere. As long as there was something in the distance, like big open areas where my key, like my goal would be to get the rocket launcher and get to wherever the big open area was. And I would just literally never touch the ground. I'd be on the ceiling, I'd be in the corner, I'd be off the walls, I'd be down on the ground again real quick and straight up. It's like, I can't be stopped. I was like Spider-Man, bro. And then they'd be like, dude, I don't want to play grapples anymore with you. I'd be like, all right, put it on fucking jetpacks, bet. Jetpacks were worse. Jetpacks had a predictable arc when you took off, depending on your velocity and which direction you were going. And all my friends ever did was run forward and do jetpack. So their arc was always like, it was like fucking simple math to hit them with a rocket or a gun. They didn't know that you could like strafe and jetpack a different direction than your character was facing, and that was all I used against them. I would jetpack backwards when they come into the room and just pepper the ground with 3 or 4 rockets, and they'd go like, fuck. You know, like, if they jumped at me, I was just like, just shoot them out of the air. It's like, why would you do that predictable shit? Like, don't you get the point of having a jetpack is like being able to dodge and move in a direction that people don't see you? Don't talk to me about DAOC, bro. I don't even want to think about that game right now, bro. That game was fire. It makes me miss playing MMOs, bro, but I don't want to even fucking think, dude. It makes me sad thinking about DAOC. Dude, playing that game in the early days was like fucking like something else, bro. It was a great game. Star Wars Galaxies? Is that an MMO? Is that the one that has like the story kind of MMO? I played it for a while, but I got bored with it. I don't like theme park MMOs, man. I like open world, full loot, survive or die MMOs. I don't like fucking theme park MMOs. I was too into EQ to try DAOC. Sounds like I missed out. Yeah. It was late when I tried it out. It had been out a couple of years when I jumped into it, and it was fucking fire, bro. What was the best MMO? Ultima Online. released in 1994 or 5. Ultima Online, 100%. Open world, full loot, protect your neck or die kind of world, fully supported by a player economy, full player crafting, player housing, full spell system, skill-based character progression where your character got better at things by doing them. Rather than picking an archetype at the beginning when you created a character, you just made the character look how you wanted, and then you know, you went into the world, and if you wanted to be a thief, you started picking pockets. If you wanted to be a fucking wizard, you started fucking collecting reagents and casting fucking spells at things. If you wanted to do this, you do that. You know, wanted to be a big warrior guy, you started practicing hitting things with your stick. And you know, you could 7x GM is what we called it. So you could have 700 points distributed evenly over your skills. So you could do up to 107 skills. So people would develop builds that had varying utility. So maybe you wanted to be a mage, but also have the ability to go toe-to-toe in melee. Well, you could sacrifice a couple of skills that you need to be a really top mage, but pick up a couple of skills that people don't expect a mage to have, like wrestling or piercing, right? So people think they can jump you, and then all of a sudden they're losing the battle, and now you're the predator, right? You could pick a blended crafting thing where it's like, I want to be self-sufficient, so I'm going to make a character that's got like harvesting, it's got maybe wood cutting and bowyer fletching, and I'm going to focus on that to make money. But wood cutting was also a skill that interacted with swordsmanship. So the higher your wood cutting, the more bonus points of damage you got in your swordsmanship, you see? So you could create a character that could defend himself. Stealth archer mage hybrid was my jam, yeah. I was a archer mage thief, 100%. My 7x GM skills were archery, magery, resisting spells. So 1, 2, 3, archery, magery, resisting spells, tactics, I can't remember the fucking last 3. Oh, hiding, sneaking. So now we're at 6, and then there's 1 more that I'm missing somewhere. Can't remember what my flex skill was there. I think I would change it around sometimes. But I would run around with a heavy crossbow. 100 tactics and 100 archery got you huge alpha damage, and you could attack from hiding. So you land this huge strike on somebody, and then they're already fucking like at a quarter health. And then rather than waiting for another bolt, because it takes a long time to fire another bolt, you might miss a few. Once you've landed that alpha strike, you just start nuking them. And then you loot them, and then you run away. Tee! A gnat. Yeah, it was a gnat. You're right. Yeah, it was a gnat. I did anatomy for sure. I just forgot that one. Yeah. I remember, you know, you used to have to train certain skills that you didn't want to get your kind of like stat skills up. So you had strength, dexterity, intelligence, blah, 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 whatever, right? And like, I remember I used to have to, like, when I started a new character, I would do, because I was always a thief. So I had 2 different or 3 different versions of my character with different stuff. Like my main was just a pure thief. And that was what I played most of the time. Then I had a mage thief and an archer mage thief. Just so I could get around, you know, and collect things. And have the option to do more traditional PvP if I wanted to. But I was a thief through and through. I didn't like, my perfect day was seeing somebody drop somebody else and running in and looting them and then getting away with it, you know? Yep, Spirit Speak. Yeah, I would just like, did you use Easy Macros back in the day, Jared? I would download this program called Easy Macros where you could set it up to just like hold down a button on your keyboard. And I would bind Spirit Speak to like F1, and then I would just set up an easy macro to repeat F1 every second, and I'd go to bed. And I'd wake up with like 72 spirit speak and 80 int, and I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, dude. You had to do a little macroing because, you know, what are you going to do? But it was against the rules. Hiding was the same way. I would just like, actually, I would create these like multi-layer macros where it was like hit spirit speak, then hit hide, then sneak and step one step this way. Then hit spirit speak, then hit hide, then sneak, then step one step back the way. So you're two tiling back and forth and you're doing 3 skills. And you'd wake up and you had like, you know, 30, 40, 50 points in it before the server reset in the morning, and you'd be like, all right, cool. And you'd set it up before school and just let it run. Go to school, come back, you're at 90 now. You're like, yeah, all right, now I can play this character. Now we can do it. Hey, look, it's my fave voice actor. Oh, I'm not a voice actor, but thanks. I would love to do that, but dude, good luck getting a gig in that shit. Not that I've really put myself out there in a appreciable way, but I have done like a public show where I do all kinds of fucking impressions and stuff constantly for like 10 years, but whatever. Never had anybody reach out. Do it. You fucking did it. We fucking do it. Dude, Ultima was supreme, bro. Ultima was a supreme game, man. I've been chasing that, the feeling of playing that game since like 95 or whatever, and I've never matched it, you know? Like, there's just never been an MMO that quite got there. Who are some of your favorite characters of all time and why? Caliban from The Tempest, Sir Toby Belch from 12th Night, so, you know, Al Pacino's Scarface. I don't know, man. It's hard. Can I say something about myself, Garcia? I'm not a guy that has a good time, like, categorizing things in my head. Like, I don't do that. Like, people really have a thing where they've got, like, here's my top 5 this. I don't do that. I don't, like, pick a favorite every little thing, you know? I'm a movie buff, man. I could tell you, like, what kinds of movies I like, but that's also pretty broad, you know? It's like, I like a lot of different types of film, so I'm not trying to be like, but like those other characters are my two, those are my two favorite roles that I've played. Sir Toby Belch and Caliban from The Tempest, both Shakespeare roles. Dude, I played Arya, Jareth, and I felt at the beginning like I found it. It's Yuo again, but it wasn't. But it wasn't. You said you tried Ark and it wasn't your thing. What was it that turned you off? The slowness of it. Being like only able to like run on the ground, picking up rocks and banging other rocks with it. It's just boring to me, Phoebes. I don't like that long burn base builder type of game. That just ain't my thing. Feel the same way about Conan Exiles. I don't like starting with a loincloth. Is that a Holler watch you're wearing? This is a Sternglass Hamburg Chrono. It's not a Holler or whatever that is.
So it's done, but you probably want to let it rest for a little bit, huh?
I'm just gonna finish this and then we're gonna go eat.
Yeah. You don't want me to make bread or anything with it, or okay,
I'm fine just having that.
okay. I was just asking.
Yeah.
I was like, I could do bread if you wanted to wait another 10, 15 minutes, but if you're just cool with the
No,
lasagna.
I mean, if you want bread, go ahead, but I don't need it.
No, I don't think we need it either. So.
Do you enjoy Elden Ring or the Dark Souls games? No, I don't like Souls-like games, but I don't like the Souls franchise of games, but I like Souls-likes. I've played quite a few Souls-likes that I've enjoyed.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order is one. The Surge 2 is another one. I just can't deal with like the drab, dead collapsed fantasy world where everything's some shade of gray. You know, it's just like it's just a very like unappealing game to me visually. I don't like the dark, uber fucking grimdark style of it. I prefer a game that's got like some color and some pizzazz in it and shit. So, I don't know.
Speaking of like games, remember our revelation we had about roguelikes? That they're actually Oregon Trail likes. Because
Yeah.
Oregon Trail has a lot of those elements and preceded Rogue.
Yep. Oregon Trail came out before Rogue. So Oregon Trail is really the first Rogue game. You would pick a character, and then you would have a random fucking encounters as you went. You had to deal with them right or you died. You had to marshal your... It's everything that a Rogue game is. I loved Elden Ring because of the exploration. Yeah. I just can't get jazzed up about running around that fucking type of environment. It is not appealing to me. So, you know. People always make fun of me. They're like, just get good, bro. It's like, I can do that.
You also don't want to have to squint.
True.
Is that a shadow? Is that a person? Is that a...
Yeah, what is that?
face?
Is that a fucking werewolf? Nope. I'm out. How do you look like Queso, the YouTuber? I don't know, man. My parents fucked and they made me. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Do you think they went like, let's have a Queso, but like 18 years before Queso? Because I'm 44. Queso's something like 18 or 19 or some shit. What are we having for dinner tonight, Paul? Lasagna. Don't get any on ya.
We finally like embraced the whole freezing leftovers thing. And
It's working out.
Lasagna's one that you can just reheat from frozen. It just takes forever.
Yeah, but it's great though. He could be my kid, yeah. I could have fathered Queso. And to be honest with you, there was some hot, like a hot older lady that cruised through when I was 18 and just could be Queso's mom. I don't know. I dropped a Queso on the world. No, I know. There's one thing I know for sure, and that is I have no unrequited babies running around in the world. I know it for an absolute, uncontrovertible fact. What? You look like you'd make a mad lasagna nut. What? Given Alan Watts' talks, do you think something akin to reincarnation could be true? I think that the concept of reincarnation is not necessarily meant to be taken literally. I think it's an idea about honing yourself while you're here, which I really like about Buddhism.
Well, it's also like what legacy you leave for future generations.
Right.
Like the idea of reincarnation implies that you want a world to come back to or whatever. If you
Right.
destroy the world, then you...
Right. Well, the idea of samsara is that you're going through these lifetimes and they're not connected in your mind. You can't remember them. You can't access them. But every lifetime is a chance for you to achieve nirvana, to achieve Buddhahood. And that you should try and do that, you know, and it's a journey. Like, people fear the idea of samsara as like the Buddhist hell, but it really is just the nature of human beings.
Yeah, we want to do the best we can.
Well, it's nature itself. It's like everything is a cycle of life and death and rebirth. You're not the only person that's struggling with these types of matters. You're not the only person trying to attain nirvana. It's like, you know, please come to be mercenary in Ukraine. No. No, buddy. Do you read Marx? Yes. I have read Marx. I don't read Marx very often.
You feel like it's a one and done thing, or
What?
Marx?
Probably for me. I mean, I don't really like the idea of socialism and communism. I like certain aspects of socialism and communism, and I think we could take those forward. But I've always been an advocate for whatever comes next.
Yeah, you feel like it's just an outdated
Like, I don't think that we
philosophy.
have dug down to the very bottom of how human beings can run a government, and the fact that we're relying on these kind of like over 100-year-old ideas, sometimes 200 or 300-year-old ideas.
And the fact that they're from very few people too. It doesn't have any intersections
Right.
with like sociology and shit.
Right.
Like it should be a team effort.
Right. So I'm not like a big, like, yeah, you know, if a socialist was on the ballot, would I vote for them? Probably, yeah. You know, I would have voted for Bernie Sanders if given the chance for president. You know what I mean? I would have done that. But as far as like waving the flag of socialism or whatever, I find it's like reductive. It chases more people away than it brings people to you. So what's the point of it? Like, I'm a labor advocate. I talk blue collar shit with blue collar people. That's what I do best. I'm about working people getting a larger piece of the pie that they make and bake. That's all, man. That's it. It's a very, very simple political prescription platform, and everything that I say about politics comes straight out of that. Nothing isn't touched by it. So notice I didn't say anything about communism. I didn't say anything about socialism. I didn't say anything about libertarianism. I didn't say anything about anarcho-syndicalism or any kind of fucking weird flavor of the month leftist thing.
But what about fully automated luxury gay space communism?
Well, yeah, that I could do. Yeah, fully automated luxury gay space communism I'd be down for. Oh no, dude, pepperoni bros here. Well, that might be my fucking cue to get the fuck out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.